Hey guys, my name is Justin Meredith. I got 5th place at the Mobile Regional last Saturday playing Sky Strikers. Quick shout out to Gamers and Geeks. They did an amazing job hosting their first regional event with a total of 122 players, and we played 7 rounds of Swiss. I ended up going 6-1 with my only loss to Fire King Snake Eyes Azamina. And just to give a quick breakdown of the tournament report round by round. Round 1, Fire King Snake Eyes Azamina. Round 2, Fire King Snake Eyes Azamina. Round 3, Tempai. Round 4, Fiendsmith Chimera. Round 5 actually was Fiendsmith, Kashtira, Goblin Biker, which was by far the scariest matchup I've ever played and was really, really cool. Round 6 was Snake Eyes, Fiendsmith. And then round 7, again, Snake Eyes, Kashtira, Azamina. And so now I'll get into the deck profile. Alright, to start things off, obviously, we play 3 Ray, best Sky Striker card in the game. You need to play 3. She gets you your engine, she just does so much recursion. Linkage OTK, which I will say in this tournament I had to get used to this potentially getting impulsed when I quick effect to tribute. So if you do plan on playing Sky Strikers, make sure you're thinking about that when you activate Raise effect or linkage, because it can really be devastating. The one of Rose only activated Rose's effect from the graveyard once, but it actually ended up winning me the game in round 7 in game 3 against the Snake Eyes player. So we've got to play it. It's the one of. Then 3 Engage, 2 Linkage, 2 Shark Cannon, 3 Widow, 1 Hornet Drones, 1 Afterburner, 1 Multi-Roll, and that's all the Sky Striker cards. This list is going to be very, very similar to Ryan Yu's list with a few minor tweaks, so all the credit to him. The few tweaks you'll see is possibly due to him being a way better player than me, but I'll explain that when I get to those cards. The 1 Call By, 1 ROTA, 3 Desires. I hate this card. There was a lot of times where Desires would draw me somehow into more Desires, but it put the 3rd spell into the graveyard, so it didn't matter. 3 Upstarts, 2 Cosmics, 2 Droplets, 2 Talents, 3 Thrusts, and then the Board Breakers, 2 Lightning Storms, 2 Regeki, 1 Feather Duster. Just broken spells, obviously going blind second. You let your opponent play and then you just break their board. And then the last card, so instead of Ryan Yu playing Imperm, I figure I would try playing D-Barrier. It works out really well at my locals because there's a lot of Voiceless Voice, a lot of rogue decks that D-Barrier just turns off the turn. So Ryan Yu probably can win a lot of games with just the Imperm. I need something more powerful to just say no. So that is why I played the 1 D-Barrier. And it actually ended up winning me against the Tempai player and the Chimera Fiendsmith deck list. Because in game 1 I was able to thrust and to set this. And both players were laughing and they were like, do I need to get a deck check on you? You really main deck this? And I was like, yeah, it's a 1 So it pays off. So now the extra deck, 3 Kagari. Again, a little tweak here. I played 3 Shizuku because there was a lot of games where I just felt like I was getting outgrinded and I just needed one more search to finish the game or keep control of the game. So I played 3 Shizuku versus the seems to be the standard 2 nowadays. 2 Hayate, 1 Kaina, 1 Zeke, Azalea, Little Knight, Dark Charmer, Access Code, and Typhon. I only made Access Code once. I think I still lost the game when I made it. Azalea came up quite a few times, just being able to Dark, bring back something, and then pop a card on their field. Typhon, I would say, was probably the MVP. A lot of times I would just make it in the extra monster zone and just play Protect the Typhon to give me a full couple turns of control and then just eventually link it off or whatnot and then win the game. Side deck, 2 Droll. I don't really know how I feel about Droll. Every time I drew it at this event, it did nothing. I understand why it's so powerful. I don't know if I would play it moving forward, because there are times where obviously it just shuts off your opponent for a whole turn. But I drew it 2 or 3 times and it just did nothing. It underperformed at this event, but still a very powerful card. Just got to test a little bit more to see if I want to try something different. 3 Ash Blossom. Really broken. Obviously, Ash needs no explanation, especially if you are lucky like I was many times in the tournament and was able to draw it with Dominus Impulse as well. Only 2 due to the fact that I only currently own 2. If I was able to pick up a 3rd, I would absolutely play it. This card is broken. Yes, you lose out on your Hayate effect and your Rose effect. A lot of times, hopefully, you can use Hayate before you have to use Impulse, but there was just so many games where Impulse, if you Impulse the right thing, completely stops your opponent and you're just able to win from there. The other 2D barrier, 3 different Dimension Ground, and then the God card against Tenpai, 3 Threatening Roar. Threatening Roar won me one of the games against my Tenpai player. Different Dimension Ground really performed well against any Snake Eyes deck. Just if you draw it, or a lot of times I would side this in even if I was thinking, because my opponent might make me go first, and every single time I did that, they did end up making me go first, which is a smart play to do against Sky Strikers. So luckily I drew this, or they hand trapped me and I was able to thrust into this, so it ended up winning me a bunch of games. I think there was only one time where I think actually the round I lost against the Fire King player, I flipped this and it didn't even matter, because I think he went Fenrir, Activate Deception, normal summon Snake Eyes Ash, and was just able to push through and just win the game right there. So that was the only time DDG was not just the auto win card, but just absolutely broken. Like I said, the only thing I believe I would change is possibly Droll and Lockbird. Everything else in the deck was pretty good. I don't think there was anything that I would like to swap out. Maybe cutting Desires down to 2, but it's a pot of greed. It's so good, and it gets you more spells in the grave. So there are definitely going to be those games where you activate Desires and you banish a lot of your key pieces, but odds are you're not going to banish all your Widow Anchors or all your Engages or whatnot. So definitely worth playing. And that is the profile. I definitely recommend trying Sky Strikers if you are a Sky Striker player. It definitely can win. Is it easy? Not really. Some games are easier than others, but you will have to think a lot with your plays. Every card is important. If you mess up once, it could cost you the game. Obviously, there are going to be those hands where you just draw Thrust, Regeki, Double Engage, something like that. Those are the hands I'm not talking about. You are going to have to grind and actually play very, very well. But it is definitely winnable, so I would definitely recommend giving it a shot if you've been thinking about it. It's a lot of fun, and it's different from the standard Snake Eyes decks and whatnot. But that's it, guys. I appreciate it. I hope you like the deck profile. Peace.